Hello, gems. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah, and today we're going to be doing a New Year's reading. This is going to be welcoming in the new year of 2024. So let's get right to it. Let's go ahead and pick a pile. Pile 1, I think this is Dalmatian Jasper, if I'm not mistaken. And pile 1 is Anna K. Tarot. Pile 2 is this little beach shell. And here we have 5-cent tarot. Oops, little thing is falling all over the place. Pile 3, we have another beach shell. And this is the Haunted Mansion tarot. For pile 4, I think I know what the shell is. I think it's called a cowrie shell. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this deck is Eldritch Overload. And for pile number 5, I don't really know what this stone is. It's a green mystery stone that I got with a purchase. And this is Witchy Cat Tarot. So go ahead and choose the pile that calls your name either by the deck or the stone, and then jump down to the timestamp below, and I will see you in your reading. Pile 1, you can stay put. We'll get right into it. Pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, or pile 5. Hello, pile 1. If you have selected Anna K. Tarot or the Dalmatian Jasper, this reading is for you. Oops. All right, what messages does pile 1 need to hear for this New Year's reading? Okay. Just scoot this over a bit. Oops, we're off camera a little bit. I'm using a slightly different setup today because my husband took off to the beach with my son, and he took my tripod. So I've got like I've got my webcam set up, and it's doing a bit of a balancing act over here. So I'm trying to work around it. Let me see. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty centered. Okay, card number 1. This is going to be the previous year in summary. Got my squeaky chair here. So here we have the King of Cups in the reverse. So for some of you, I do feel like this could be some heartbreak, some disappointment. Some of you might have had a breakup that you've experienced, or kind of some discontent. This may have been a year of loss. I could even see this as a father, like some of you may have lost your father or a father figure, just kind of grown distant. I do feel like there's a hole, like a hole in your heart coming up here with the King of Cups. And I feel like this would have been like a very nurturing type of energy. Like somebody who was a protector. I don't really feel like this is like motherly energy, but I feel like this is like male energy, like protective male, loving, compassionate male energy. Perhaps you've grown distant from somebody who fits that kind of that that kind of description, or you may be missing a person who you kind of looked at like in that way. This is a lesson learned from last year. Queen of Cups. Oh my gosh, the king and queen are together here. The lesson learned. I'm wondering if maybe you didn't express yourself in the best way possible. Or maybe there was something that you should have said and you did not, or it came across perhaps in a very harsh way, in a way that was not intended. Maybe it was intended. Maybe there's some regret there. Sometimes when the Queen of Cups comes up in the reverse, she can be kind of cold and bitchy. She's not as warm and compassionate as she normally is. And I feel like your lesson revolves around communication. Around, like, not so much communication, but speaking with love. Speaking from the heart. Showing people you care with acts of kindness from the heart. Not really so much as like for attention or like to show off. Just like because you really wanted to. Because you really wanted to show that you cared. What empowers you in reaching your aspirations? Here we have Temperance. I feel like you're really trying to find balance. You're trying to bring, you're trying to make peace. Whatever that means to you. And that could be like peace at home. That could be peace at work, peace in the world. Because it's a collective reading, it can take on so many different aspects. There's so many different facets to it. But like all in all, I feel like you're trying to find a happy medium. You're trying to bring about peace between others. Whatever it is, whatever lesson you learned here, I feel like you truly did learn from it and you're taking steps to make that right. To make that right in the future. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Ten of Pentacles. Ooh, I think this is just like life. Getting distracted. You know, Ten of Pentacles are here. They're welcoming in this new baby. It's like life, family, hanging out, like just really enjoying yourself. I feel like you can kind of get caught up in that and kind of put your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations on the back burner. Card 5. Oh, wait, that's what empowers you. I'm getting confused already. I was scrolling a little too fast on my phone. Okay, so card 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? This will be your family. It depends which position the card shows up in. It could take on a whole different meaning. So what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? Your family, the support of your family. Knowing that what you do, you're doing for the ones you love, that it betters your life. Kind of like making an empire, you know? You're doing it to better your family. You're doing it to better your little, like your community, your circle of tight people. This would be like family, like actual blood family, or friends in your inner circle that you consider to be your family. Okay, now we get to that original question. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? The Fool. Bad choices. Fool in reverse. This could be like just rushing into things without really thinking them through and just making some unwise decisions. This can also be fear of launching, fear of taking that first step, afraid to make a mistake. So again, you've got to find that happy medium, that balance. Not being so afraid that you never start, and not just being so carefree and gung-ho that you just make really poor decisions. Card 6, your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Two of Cups in the reverse. I feel like pile 1, you do have difficulty expressing the way that you feel about people. And again, this is, this is showing a snapshot of a possible outcome, a possible snapshot of your relationships and your emotions in the upcoming year. Two of Cups in the reverse. So if you don't like this card, if you don't like that, some of your relationships may not turn out so well, then do something about it. You have free will. You have the power, to make a difference. So really work on expressing yourself in a way that, is thoughtful and caring. Don't fall into this Queen of Cups in the reverse if it can be avoided. Obviously, there is a time and a place, but I'm really drawn to the curtain, and I'm feeling like you're hiding the way that you feel. You're hiding your emotions. You're hiding your love. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Card 7. This represents your career, work, finances, and if you are not falling into that, maybe you don't work, maybe you don't have a career, then this could also be like a hobby that you steadily keep at. Maybe you're an athlete, maybe you are into a sport, maybe it's, I don't know, some like creative hobby, whatever, but it would be that type of thing. Knight of Swords. Oh my goodness, the Knight of Swords is a charger. The knights really work to hone and sharpen those blades. They really perfect their craft. So I feel like this is where a lot of your energy is going. And that's probably why you're not, so heartfelt in the way that you're expressing yourself. You're so focused on your career, on your goals, your aspirations, your finances, career, hobby, whatever it is. This is kind of taking the front, like the front burner. I like to cook in the kitchen. I'm trying to think of another word, but this is taking up like the front burner, and there's like really a fire back here, and it's kind of like, is he charging in, or did he set that fire? Is that a distraction? Is he going in to save these people? I don't know, but there's a lot going on right here in this card. I feel like when it comes to your career, your work, your finances, perhaps a hobby, that you are very dependable in that aspect. You can be relied upon. Maybe sometimes too much if it's affecting your home life. I could see that as something to take a look at. This card represents your health and your well-being. Here we have the Five of Swords in the reverse. So health and well-being, I see like there's a lot going on. It's not the most desirable situation, but with this card being in the reverse, I feel like you are doing something about it. You are saying like, you know what, this is how it is, and I'm going to do something about it. Maybe you're using your resources over here from your job, from your perhaps connections, maybe you're saving your money and you're taking steps to address this. He's really charging in, and this card is like saying, you know what, we're going to turn this around. So this is actually, if your health, your well-being, this could also be like your spiritual well-being, your emotional well-being. Doesn't have to be your physical health, but I do see like, you know what, you are addressing that and you are trying to turn that around. I like that. Card 9, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Here we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so pile 1, I don't really see you working on this as much as you could be. Or, okay, here's the or you are working on it. You know what I mean? And instead of having this person like inspecting them and approving them, and he's like, yeah, put that one up on the wall. That's good. You may have somebody looking at it and be like, you know what, pile 1 person, now this could be good or bad. That I don't think that's the right way. Now that could be because this person just is judgmental and they just don't approve of it. Or you might not be on the right path. And this person could be a voice of reason. Okay, this person could be trying to guide you in the right direction. So you're gonna have to really sit and assess your situation. Either you're not really working on this, or you are, and there's somebody coming up and be like, no, I don't know if I like that. You didn't do that right. I don't know if you're going about this the right way. I feel like there is some attention being drawn to it if you are working on your spirituality, if you are working on your spiritual path. What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Queen of Rods, putting yourself out there, being comfortable with yourself, really going after your joy and your happiness, getting together with friends, with family, smiling, laughing, enjoying yourself. Don't just put all of your attention on work. For some of you, if you do have relationship issues, like where you're not really showing affection for your partner, I feel like this could be a nod to that. Queen of Rods is like very sexy vibes. She's very beautiful and she embraces her femininity. She embraces her sexuality. You don't have to necessarily be female for this to apply to you, but I feel like it's tapping into that. It's tapping into that energy. Those seductive powers, you know, just like really showing your affection and that raw animal attraction for your partner. So if you are neglecting your partner, pile 1, then this would be a nod to tap into that. This card reminds me of that Justin Timberlake song, Bringing Sexy Back. That's the song I always hear playing in my head when I look at that card. Okay, so now we have card 11, your most important lesson for the coming year. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this year could be a good year for you. I love when the Wheel of Fortune comes up in this position. These people are having a great time. You know, last year might not have been so hot, but you know what? This year could be really good. Might have a stroke of luck this year. And overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? Knight of Cups. Oh my goodness. So like, yes, the things were not really, you know, looking like they were, like what's going to happen? But look, Knight of Cups. Next 12 months, if you play your cards right, if you don't spend all of your time at work, you know what I mean? Working on your health and your wellness. Paying attention to your spirituality. Why is this card coming up right here in the reverse? What is going on with that? You know, bringing sexy back, embracing your joy, your happiness, not just like, oh, I need to find a partner. Oh, I need, you know, this or I need that if you're single. You know, focusing on the problems if you have a partner. Really looking at what can I do to make my situation better? How can I find my joy, my happiness? Because then that starts to radiate outwards, you know? Knight of Cups, he's a lover. Knight of Cups, he's romantic. He's over here bringing flowers. And, you know, if you're female, you can also be the one to give your partner a flower. You know, you can show that first step. You can be the one to romance too. You can seduce your partner as well. So pile 1, I think this year looks pretty good for you coming up, 2024. All right, woohoo! That is a good change. So even though we started out over here with card 1, previous year in summary, some loss, King of Cups, we are ending this year the right way with the Knight of Cups. We're going to start over, try again. That could be rekindling, you know, your current situation, or that could be starting over. So pile 1, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys soon. Happy New Year. Bye. Hello, gems. If you have selected pile 2, the shell, or the 5-cent tarot, this reading is for you. All right. I just love the way this deck sounds when it shuffles. This is by far my most favorite deck to listen to shuffling. Let's see. All right, what messages does pile 2 need to hear? Pile 2, what do you need to hear for the new year, 2024? Oh, we got a jumper. We'll read that at the end. Okay, here we go. Card number 1. This is our previous year in summary. So here we have the Queen of Matches. Okay, so this card gives me hardcore diva vibes. I feel like this would have been just like really embracing your beauty, your handsomeness, whatever, embracing your sexuality, embracing your shadows, really learning how to put yourself out there and be comfortable in your own skin. I love it. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna hide in the shadows. I am gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna take charge. I'm going to be creative, and I'm gonna make it happen. Literally lighting a match under it. I love it. Card 2, lessons learned from the past year. Here we have the Devil in the reverse. I feel like this would be letting go of the things that used to hold you back in the past. Letting go of your addictions, of your self-destructive habits and behaviors. Literally like burning any cords, any ropes that were holding you back. Like, you know what? I'm going to cut the ties. I'm not going to, if you're stuttering, I'm not going to allow the temptation of momentary pleasures to keep me small. I love it how it says freedom and release, self-control. I love it. I really feel like that's tying in here with the Queen of Matches. And I like how these words are kind of stringing together, having the courage to let go, courage to detach. I love it. Very cool. What are your aspirations for the next 12 months? Here we have the 4 of Needles in the reverse. Ooh, so this is kind of like the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords in the upright is taking a time out, taking a rest, really having to meditate and think about things. But with this card being in the reverse, I feel like you no longer need to take this time out. I feel like you've already done this. You've already done this time out, this meditation, kind of like how it says detachment here, and like you're in the needles, and it says confinement, and you're ready to come out even more. You're really ready to put yourself out there even more so in the next 12 months. Card 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? The Hanged Man. I feel like you're looking at things from a different perspective. You're looking at things the way other people see them. You're not so shallow, like only thinking like your way is the only way to see it, or that person's way is the only way to see it. You're willing to look at all of the obligatory tripod bump. You're willing to look at all of the options presented to you, take a time out, look at it from different angles, and then go forward, making the best decision for you in that moment. So that's really cool. Card 5, what may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? So this is what will empower you, this is what will help you, and this is what might get in the way. 10 of Buttons. Ooh, this is like the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like this would be making decisions solely based on financial, solely based on comfort, the easiest way, or only like what makes financial sense. Sometimes things don't have to make financial sense. Sometimes you can't do things the cheapest way, or you can't only do things the most expensive way, because that's not always the best way either. They're like really weighing your options, you know, looking at all of the different options and looking at the pros and cons, looking at things from different perspectives. Don't just look at it for price sticker tag and be like, oh, that's the best one because it's the cheapest, or because it's in the middle, or because it's in, you know, the most expensive category. Also, not really looking at things and only choosing things because that's the way they've always been done. That's the way my family does it. That's what my family wants. I'm kind of getting strong family vibes here, especially with the tree and the roots, you know, and then how it says legacy. I'm really drawn to that. Making sure that you make the most sense out of your decisions, not solely based on tradition or what your family wants. Making sure that it makes sense for all involved. Card 6, this is your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Judgment and the reverse. I feel like some of your relationships and your connections with people, they may fall away. I feel like there may be a transformation that may hurt. There may be some lines being a little bit blurred, like it's difficult to see. I'm really drawn to this flower right here, and this flower is Jimson weed. And in small doses, it's hallucinogenic, and in large doses, it's highly toxic. And that's what's coming up on top. So I feel like things may not be easy to see, like why they're happening at first. You may have some doubt. You may have some resistance to this. Like people may want to move on, or maybe you want to move on and people are resistant to that. I'm not too sure what's going on, you know, with that, but I feel like it may have something to do with thoughts and opinions about each other. There may be some judgment going on that could be warranted or not. This is a collective reading, so I'm not going to go like too far into that, but it may be like, you know, like you did this, and so now like this is as a result of that action. You know, so just really making sure that you're coming from a good place and making the best decision for all involved. Now, sometimes when you grow, you know, when you grow spiritually, when you come out of this devil card in the upright, when you come out of that, sometimes your old friend groups, they don't really like that. Like, oh, you know, how come you don't want to hang out with us? What do you think, you're too good for us? Or, you know, you used to enjoy doing this with us, and now you don't want to do it because you've grown. So I feel like that might play into it. You might just be growing and coming into like a new circle of people, and that's okay. Or maybe your friends, you know, grow, evolve. I always hope that, you know, you guys are the ones that are growing and evolving, but other times, you know, that's just the way it is. Other people might grow and evolve at a faster pace than you, and you might be the one that's being left behind, and that's okay too. Don't fight it. You'll have somebody who comes into your group, into your circle, that's supposed to be there at just the right time. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Card 7, your career, your work, your finances. I feel like if you don't fall into that category, it can also be your hobby, you know, something you're really passionate and you put a lot of work and effort into. Here we have the 6 of matches. I feel like there's a success here. There's a lot of celebration. You're getting some attention, you're getting some recognition, and you're strutting your stuff. This is bringing you some joy in 2024. Card 8, this would be your health and your well-being. 6 of Cups. Okay. 6 of Cups normally reminds me of childhood memories. I'm really drawn to the word playful right here and how it says like reminiscing. I'm wondering if this Devil card in the reverse, how you're letting go of past addictions, things that held you back, these restraints, you know, like I feel like that was causing a lot of stress and probably was taking a toll on your body. More than that, it was probably not only limited to your body. It was probably affecting your mental health. It was probably affecting your spirituality. And I feel like generally you're going to look back like, oh my gosh, remember when I used to do that? Or remember when I used to have this problem, you know, and you can laugh about it. I feel like, you know, with the playfulness of the dolphins, I feel like you're going to feel younger. Don't quote me on that. This is a collective reading, but for some of you, it may take on different forms, but I feel like for the most part, pile 2, you are going to have a sense of playfulness. You're going to feel a little bit younger. Maybe it's younger at heart. You know, it's really hard to turn back the actual clock of time, but I have seen it happen. I know for myself, when I was in my 20s, I used to have debilitating joint pain. No doctors could help me, and I believe me, I went. You know, I sought out doctor after doctor after doctor. Here in America, we have this thing called PPO, where you could just like change your doctor, like you could change your underwear, and I did that because I wanted help, and the doctors couldn't help me. And it wasn't until I took things into my own hands and I did things doctors never suggested. And, you know, now I'm a green belt in Kung Fu Sansu. I'm surfing in the cold Pacific Ocean. You know, I could do yoga. I could do all of these things that if you had told me in my 20s, like, hey, you know, when you're in your 40s, you're going to be doing these things, I would have laughed and told you how stupid you were. You're an idiot, you know, and that was a really funny joke because I could not do any of those things when I was in my 20s. So I've lived that. So I don't know why I felt drawn to tell you that story, but I just felt really strongly that I should. So yes, obviously I did not turn back the actual clock of time. I am older, but I feel better than I did when I was in my 20s and I'm in my 40s. So yeah, I do have more independence. I am more playful. And looking back, sometimes I just laugh like, wow, you know, I forgot I used to have that until times like right now when I'm reminded of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, remember when I used to have joint problems? So anyways, I just wanted to tell you about that. Card 9. This is your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Here we have the 4 of matches in the reverse. Spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Normally I get like really strong home vibes with this card, possibly like celebrating a wedding or other joyous occasion. But here it says leaving home. Uncertainty. Like I'm wondering if you need to go on some sort of spiritual quest. Maybe it's like a spiritually based vacation. Maybe it's a yoga retreat. Maybe it's, I have no idea, some sort of like, what are they called? Some sort of like pilgrimage of some sort. I don't know. You might be drawn to do that. It doesn't have to be very far. It could be going out into the wilderness for a weekend, a week, whatever. But I feel like this is not something that's going to happen at home. There's going to be some sort of a quest, perhaps some sort of a trial, like where you're going to have to like have like this metamorphosis. I feel like there's going to be some sort of trial or thing that you have to overcome, something that will bring you to a state of catharsis. More than likely, it will not happen at home. Card 10, what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. King of Cups in the reverse. Pile 2. I don't know if you are going to have to, if you're going to have to turn your back on a person that you care very much about, if you're going to have to break somebody's heart, or if you need to turn your attention to a person who you perceive as heartless. Somebody who might be uncaring, very self-absorbed. This could be a family member. This could be a father figure. This could be, it could be a child, but I feel like if it was a child, more than likely it would come up as a page. This could be an adult child. I'm really drawn to this word, unstable. I feel like if you know a person like that, who's very close to you, just kind of being aware of that person's influence over your next year. Like, do they have pull? Do they have, will they try to like manipulate some sort of a situation for you next year? For some of you, if this pertains to you, then this may be a reason why you need to go on this pilgrimage, this like spiritual quest. It's a collective reading. I feel like for some of you, this may be the reason, again, why you have to go on this, but like it may be this person's influence. Like, you know what? Like, I don't even want to be at home. I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to go on this retreat. I'm going to go on this thing, you know, maybe you guys go together and sort things out. I'm not too sure really why this is coming up. This is not an individual reading, but I do feel like this person is going to have a significant impact in your life. That person can very much be you, but it can also, for some of you, be another person. What is your most important lesson for the coming year? The Ace of Cups, new love. Yeah, I didn't want to say it without like another card to confirm, but I do feel like for some of you that may be, especially with this card here, where this was your relationships and emotions in the coming year, how I felt like it might change. There's going to be like some sort of judgment, really like based on actions, you know, and for some of you, that could be a relationship ending. Okay. And then here, your most important lesson, Ace of Cups. Sometimes this is a new beginning. This is a new emotion. Very, very much can be a new love. I just want to point out that tarot is funny, and this might very much be that lesson. Maybe if this is a new love, if like your new relationship turns out to be like this, like somebody very cold and self-centered, like a narcissistic kind of person, that might be your lesson. Like, you know what? That was a lesson I needed to learn, and now I can continue to grow. Okay, so just be aware that person very well may be your lesson if that person is a new relationship. Card 12, overall, where you are headed in the next 12 months. Ace of Buttons. I feel like this is a year of new opportunities. I'm really drawn to the bunny and how it says fertility. I feel like you have the potential to prosper. You have the potential to really achieve it, whatever you put your hand to. If you have the courage to put yourself out there, if you have the courage to break free of what tries to hold you back, of what tries to keep you small. I very much feel like that may be tying in here with this person over here. Let's see what this little extra card that wanted to be a part of your reading is. 7 of Matches, giving in. Oh my goodness. So pile 2, I don't know if you have a tendency to give in. If you have a tendency of putting yourself on the back burner just to kind of keep the peace or to make other people happy. But let me go back. What was that? But you don't want to go backwards. You know, the previous year in summary was a year of really learning how to put yourself out there, stepping into your comfort, you know, being comfortable in your skin, making peace with your shadows, loving yourself, not being afraid to put yourself out there, breaking free, refusing to be confined. And that's like carrying into, you know, this next year. That's what you learned last year. This is your aspirations for the next 12 months. Like, oh, I really want to just keep putting myself out there. I don't want to be confined anymore. But this card that wanted to be a part of your reading, conviction, is at the bottom. That's not what's showing up for you. What's showing up for you is giving in. And I feel like this card is a reminder. I feel like this card is the most important card in the whole reading. What do you believe in? For everybody, that's going to be different. Don't forget about your convictions. Do not give in. So, pile 2, that concludes your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense. And thank you for hanging out with me. Happy New Year, pile 2. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you have selected Dark Mansion Tarot or this shell, this reading is for you. It's a very big deck, so it's going to be a little difficult for me to shuffle. Let's see. What messages does pile 3 need to hear today? Messages does pile 3 need for the new year 2024 reading? Let's see. Okay, let's begin. Card 1. This is the previous year in summary. Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so Page of Swords, pages are a very youthful, energetic, childlike energy. And I feel like 2023 was more than likely filled with things that could have been communicated a little bit better, perhaps some hot-headedness, perhaps some temper tantrums. Now, I'm not saying that those were all you, and I'm not saying that they were all somebody else, because this is a collective reading. You're going to have to see where you fit into that. But I feel like there's all of these words and these things that like wanted to be communicated, and they're just kind of swirling around, and I feel like it didn't go over as good as it could have. There's some emotion, and I associate the Page of Swords in the reverse kind of like an irate toddler, kind of like when they don't get their way and they just kind of like start to freak out, you know, that was kind of the theme. That could have been in real life. That could have been in social media. That could have been at work. I don't know. You got to fill in the blank as to where that fits in with your life. But I feel like there was a lot of that happening for you. For some of you, you may have wanted to, learn about something, a certain topic, perhaps go back to school, and maybe that didn't pan out for you in the way that you had hoped. Perhaps you had envisioned it a certain way, and in reality, it was not as glamorous, not as ideal as you had made it out in your head. Card 2, lessons learned from the past year. 3 of Pentacles. I feel like you did work how to work with other people. So even though there was all of this going on, you still learned how to work through that. And I feel like that was a big deal. Maybe you learned how to deal with a person like this, or maybe you started out as this person and you became someone who was a little bit more controlled. Aspirations for the next 12 months. 3 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so this could be spending a little less time partying. This can also be if you are in a relationship and there is a third party that you would not like to see that and carry into the new year. Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hold anything back. So for some of you, you might actually be interested in a third party in your relationship in the new year. There may be like you might be in a relationship and then you've got your sights set on somebody else before you're fully out of the other one, or you have no intention of leaving the other one and you just, want your cake and you want to eat it too. I could see that as coming up as either way for this card. For some of you, that might actually be your New Year's resolution, to do less drinking, to do less partying, to have a little bit more control over your life. Not focus so much on just hanging out with friends and having a good time. What empowers you in reaching your aspirations? Knight of Wands. You want to take charge. You want to be able to feel good about yourself. You want to be strong. You want to be, so this is like male energy here. So I'm just going to say the guy. It doesn't have to necessarily be, you don't have to be a guy, but I feel like you want to be the guy. You want to be the dude. You want to be the person that people look up to, that people depend on, that people rely on. And also, this guy's sexy. This guy's hot. This guy is sexually attractive. He's a good looking dude. I feel like you want to feel better. You want to look better. You want to be able to perform not only in your work, but also in bed. I am really drawn to how this card is charging right into this one. So like, I'm wondering if that has to do with a relationship or partying. Like, I'm not saying that you're going to go out and be, a monk or a nun, but, I feel like you just don't want to party so hard. But then there's this card. And like, when you do have fun, when you do let loose, like you want to feel good. You want to have the stamina. You want to be able to have that strength of the horse. And what empowers you? I feel like it's training. Again, we have a knight, and that's what knights do. They're training, they're sharpening their skills. This knight is a very dashing knight. He's very charming and he's very enthusiastic and he has a lot of charisma. He's not shy. He's not afraid to put himself out there. He is the life of the party. Card 5, what may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? The Tower in the reverse. Hmm. Oh, your aspirations. I feel like your aspirations, what may stand in the way? You're afraid of rocking the boat. You're afraid that this house may be made out of cards and it might just come crashing down, crash and burn. And then how do you repair? How do you fix it? Where do you go from there? Maybe things are, for some, I'm really strongly feeling like some of you are involved, like in this love triangle, you know, and it's comfortable. It's comfortable, but it is, you know, it's a tricky situation. But it's like, if I end it, you know, then what's going to happen? Like, if I end it, is this person gonna get a hold of the other person, and are they gonna know about it? You know, is this house of cards gonna come crashing down? I'm really strongly getting that. And again, it's a collective reading, so that's not going to apply to everybody. But I feel like somebody out there needs to hear that. Card 6, your relationships and emotions in the coming year. The Star, I feel like this will be a time for healing. This is going to be a year of healing. Maybe this Tower moment, you know, maybe you don't resist it forever. And when things finally come out, you know, in the open, or you just finally let go of whatever this is representing here, you know, whatever's holding you back from having your joy, then you're going to come into a time of healing. You're going to come into a time of resting and healing your heart. These healing waters will flow, and you're going to be able to nourish this little flower here. But it doesn't happen overnight. I feel like your relationships and emotions in the coming year, it's going to be a time of healing. So maybe people you have hurt, people who have hurt you, this is a time of repairing what can be repaired, learning how to communicate with each other, building each other up instead of tearing each other down. Card 7, your career, work, and finances. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Things may take a unexpected turn. Things might not always work out in your favor, but I want you to remember that the Wheel of Fortune is always in motion. It's always spinning. It's not always up, and it's not always down, but there may be an unexpected turn of events. With this card, I would say prepare for that rainy day. Prepare for that unexpected event. Don't just spend all your time partying. Don't waste your money unnecessarily. Start putting some aside. Card 8, your health and well-being. Page of Wands in the reverse. Page of Wands in the reverse. I feel like with this card, it could be suggesting some momentary upset. Really don't want to get into like health, and please don't take this as like any sort of health diagnosis, because I am not a doctor by any way, shape, or form, but I do feel like this card could be speaking to potential issues that you had from childhood. Those things, it could be speaking of that. It could also be speaking of like your inner child. This would be like, I associate this card with like the confidence of your inner child. That would be like self-doubt. I feel like this could be speaking of root chakra issues, and the root chakra would include like your digestion, your bowel movements. It could include like your legs, your knees, your hips, your feet, ankles, things of that nature. I feel like it could be speaking of that. Just really taking time to pay attention and nurture, keep those parts of your body healthy. And obviously seeing a doctor if any of those things come up in this next year. Also doing root chakra work, doing things like grounding exercises, moving, making sure you have good circulation, you know. For some reason, I'm strongly getting like rash and eczema vibes with this card. So I don't know if that speaks to you or not, but if it does, yeah, I'm not a doctor, so you would have to see your doctor for that. 7, 8, 9. Okay, card 9. Your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. The Empress. I feel like spiritually, and as far as like inner fulfillment, I feel like you're going to be really coming into a time where this is just like really blossoming. You're really going to be developing in this area in 2024. I feel like you're going to come into a time where inside, like regardless of how things are working out for you, you know, like I feel like you are still going to be able to be comfortable. You're still going to be able to find comfort. You're still going to be able to find a sense of accomplishment. And I feel like that is going to come from your spirituality, from connecting with whatever it is that you believe in, letting that be your strength, that be your rock, your foundation, really leaning heavily into that. Card 10, what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. 7 of Pentacles. I feel like this is a card of patience. Whatever you plant, that's what's going to come up in your garden. You are going to reap what you sow. So what kind of seeds do you want to be planting in your garden? And I'm really drawn to how this is the very next card after this card. And there's so much growing around her. There's this wheat, you know, which is a sign of fertility. She's pregnant and she's just really tapped into her intuition. I love it. And he's looking at her. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's looking at his pentacle right here, but it's the next card and he's facing in that direction. And I feel like he's saying like, it needs to be spiritually sound. It needs to align with what you believe in. Card 11, your most important lesson for the coming year. Justice. I really am getting strong, you reap what you sow vibes with this card. That's literally what I just said here. You know, every decision is going to have an equal reaction. I don't know if you are going to have any sort of court case coming up. If you do know of that, then obviously that would pertain to you. But if not, I feel like this just has to do with making decisions with your choices. Acting, speaking, carrying yourself in a fair way, in a way that, you know, is going to bring you good karma. Really being unbiased when you interact with other people. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? Four of Wands in the reverse. I'm wondering if you're going to be moving in the next 12 months. Moving, or perhaps having a breakup. I don't know if you're considering that already. I kind of felt like that was coming up. But I do feel like there's going to be some things like moving and shaking. Usually I associate this card with home, with a strong and steady relationship. Sometimes I get marriage vibes out of this card. Sometimes I don't. But this deck, I do feel like it's heavily centered on a relationship. So that may be one door closing and another one opening. And again, for some of you, I feel like you're the one doing the closing of the door, like ending a relationship with a person, an extra person. Doesn't necessarily have to be like that. It could be a two-party relationship where you guys just have a little bit too much partying. That could be, you know, the thing that has to end in this card, just the partying, the overindulging. But with this card coming up here, I do feel like there's a relationship ending, or perhaps a move. Yeah. So pile 3, that does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I wish you all the best. Happy New Year. Bye. Hello, gems. If you have selected pile 4, Eldritch Overload, or this shell here, this reading is for you. Ooh. All right, let's see what comes up for you. Pile 4. All right, card number 1. The previous year in summary. Here we have the 10 of coins in the reverse. So I feel like for you, pile 4, you may have had a falling out with your family, or perhaps your closest circle of friends. For some of you, this could even indicate that you are having a difficult time financially. There may have been a monetary loss. I feel like that would be a substantial loss. This could also indicate just a feeling of dissatisfaction. If you did not have a loss and you did not have a falling out, then there could just be like a growing sense of disgust and like a bad taste in your mouth for the way that things are. Card 2, lessons learned from the past year. The Lovers in the reverse. Oh my gosh. I feel like you may have made some sacrifices, some decisions, and in the end, I do feel like it's leaving you with that bad taste in your mouth. Or if it was from a loss, this guy literally lost his leg, okay? And these people are hooked up to this machine. They're connecting. These people have sold, like she sold her arm, and it looks like, I don't know if her ribs are fake or what, but it's like they sold parts of themselves, parts of their soul, you know, for superficial bullshit. You know, normally in the upright, they're disconnecting because this superficial bullshit is worth less than true connections, true like coming together of people. Okay, and they're unplugging from all of that, and they're coming together to make that connection. But what you learned is that the sacrifices you made were not, or choices you made did not bring you as much satisfaction as you had hoped, and you don't feel that connection that these people do. Like you're not having that like coming together feeling. You're just like, oh, what did I do? Why did I make that decision? Card 3, aspirations for the next 12 months. Ace of Potions in the reverse. I'm wondering if you would just like a fresh start. I feel like pile 4, you really don't feel like you are worthy or that you have that much available to you. You've kind of lost the ability to hope, the ability to dream. It's like that's not even available to me. What empowers you in reaching your aspirations? Here we have the Queen of Coins in the reverse. I feel like you don't need to worry about taking care of anybody right now. Right now, you need to work on you. Right now, you need to spend some time on self-care and really getting to the root of the problem. And I feel like it may go back all the way to childhood. And I'm really drawn to how I felt like this card had something to do with your family. I feel like the issue goes way back. I feel like you might need to talk to somebody. Perhaps it's like a therapist or a counselor, a coach, somebody that you can trust about your situation, about what it is that you're feeling. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Justice in the reverse. I feel like fighting for the wrong thing, making bad decisions, perhaps living in regret, living with guilt. Refusing to take action. your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Here we have the Sun. So it's not all doom and gloom, pile 4. I feel like your relationships and emotions in the coming year, should you take the time to work on your self-care, okay, to make good decisions, that you will find your happiness, you will find your joy. You will reclaim like an internal spark. You'll find your passion, your drive again. Card 7. Your career, your work, and your finances. 2 of Potions in the reverse. I feel like there's, I don't know if you are currently working in the career that you're going to be in next year, but I feel like it's not going to bring you a sense of happiness, a sense of contentment. Now, if you're not happy where you are, you do have the ability to walk away. I see this as like an unhealthy partnership, a partnership that does not bring you joy. Okay. So you do have the power to start again, to start over, to start fresh. Your health and well-being. Here we have death. Now, I'm not saying that you are going to die in 2024. That is not what I'm saying at all. But I do feel like this may be, especially if you do take the time for self-care, this may be like a rebirth, you know, like the old you may die, and then you will be able to reinvent yourself. I'm not saying that it's easy or fun, because if it was, everybody would be doing it. I feel like this is a metaphysical death. I'm not saying this is a physical death, okay? This is like an energetic death. I feel like the old you, the you that's stuck in whatever it is that you're stuck in right now, that needs to go away. And I do feel like the key to unlocking something better for yourself is going to probably be with therapy. Your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Here we have the World. I really think that you really need to connect with your spirituality. You really need to find yourself. This person's completely immersed herself in this tank. And when she emerges from the tank, I feel like it's this death card. Like, this is the process of the old her dying, and then she's going to reemerge as somebody completely different. So I don't know what it is that you believe in, pile 4 person, but I strongly suggest that you reconnect with that. If you don't know what you believe in, then this is an invitation to figure it out, to begin some sort of spiritual practice. I'm not saying you have to go join a religion or join a cult. Start with, I'm just going to speak from my own experience. Start with something like yoga, start with something like Tai Chi or meditation. Start with some sort of internalized practice. And if a religion speaks to you, if a particular religion, then go try it out, go check it out, or reconnect with whatever faith that is. Card 10. What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Here we have the King of Wands. What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. I don't know if this has to do with your father. Very well could be speaking on that. Discussing your father in therapy. This could be For some of you, this can be connecting with your masculine energy. This would be like your creative, fiery energy. This would be like your desire to get up out of bed, connecting with your yang energy, not giving up. I feel like this would be like coming out of a depressed state. I feel like this would be all about empowerment and believing in yourself and having the faith that whatever you put your hand to, you can accomplish, you can achieve. You have the power to create the life that you really want to live. Your most important lesson for the coming year. Here we have the Two of Swords. I feel like this is finally taking off the blinder, finally addressing the elephant in the room, finally making that difficult decision that you have been putting off. You know what needs to be done. It is time to do it. These swords cut both ways. They are double-edged swords, so this is probably not going to be an easy decision. No matter what decision you make is going to be difficult. There's going to be a pro, there's going to be a con. But even the simple act of refusing to act is still making a choice. That's still making a decision. So thinking about what consequences come from not acting, from not deciding. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? Here we have the Three of Potions in the reverse. I feel like everything is a party when this card is in the upright. Everything is happy, everything is fun. This is hanging out with your friends and just going along like you have been, but this it's really bringing you dissatisfaction. Yeah, and in the reverse, I feel like you're walking away from that. You're walking away from the easy peasy. You're walking away. This card is like all glamour to me. These girls remind me of like just like the center of life, the life of the party, the VIPs at the nightclub, and this is like walking away from that. I feel like this will be taking a road less traveled and again, really working on your self-care. Kind of spending time going within and not really working so much like about, not really worrying about the image that you portray to your friends and your family. Really doing the work and working on you. Working on what's important to you. So pile 4, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I wish you all the best. Happy New Year, pile 4. Hello, if you have chosen pile 5, Witchy, Cat Tarot, or this stone, this reading is for you. Let's see what comes up for you, pile 5. Okay, let's begin. Card number 1, the previous year in summary. Here we have the Empress in the reverse. Okay, I feel like Here with the Empress in the reverse, you may not be, you may have had some feelings, some thoughts around loving yourself, around being able to love others. You may have doubted yourself or really not had faith in your actual mother. Perhaps you doubted your own mothering abilities. I feel like this would be a time where body image, loving the shape of your body has come into play. Really being very judgmental about your own beauty. And a time like where you were really hard on yourself, like, oh, I tried to do this and it didn't work out. Like you really didn't feel like you were able to plant seeds in the ground and have them come to life. I feel like last year, 2023, it's a time when you were really hard on yourself. Super critical. Oop, obligatory tripod bump. Card 2, lessons learned from the past year. The Wheel of Fortune. This card is right side up. So pile 5, I think like no matter how things turned out or what you see when you look in the mirror, things are not so bad. You've got the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Maybe it was down when it started out or for most of the year, but like right now your card is in the upright. The end of the year, shit's not so bad. Things are starting to look up for you, okay? Aspirations for the next 12 months. The Emperor. I feel like you would like to have some control. You would like to have some structure. The Emperor is not afraid. The Emperor, he's a lion. He's rocking the shit out of his mane. I feel like over here you may have had some insecurity, but over here you're like, you know what? I know who I am and I am comfortable in my own skin. I am a lion. The lion is like hardcore Leo energy. You know, they're not afraid to put themselves out there. They're not afraid of being the center of attention, being the life of the party. And I feel like that is what you aspire for the next 12 months. Card 4. What empowers you in reaching your aspirations? So this is going to help you in embodying the spirit of the Emperor. The 8 of Cups. What is holding you back? What is holding you back? There's something missing and you need to go out and find it. Okay, there's nobody coming through that door that's just going to be like, oh, pile 5 person, this is what you're missing. Let me give it to you. You need to find it yourself. I feel like you may have a friend, you may have a companion, a family member that's like, you know what? I see what you're lacking. And this is how we're going to go get it. It might be scary. And this person's like, whoa, no, I don't want to go out there. It's dark. And this person's like, come on, pile 5 person. Let's go. You got this. I'm not going to lead you astray. You can handle this. Let's go. Let's go find your lion's mane. That's what's going to help you. Find this person. When that person shows up, don't shoo them away. That person's there to help you and guide you. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? 5 of Cups. Oh, woe is me. I'm just going to sit here on the floor and have a pity party. And this person, I think it's this person, is coming in like, hello, pile 5 person, you still have these perfectly 2 good cups. Get up, stop this shit. You know, you're throwing another pity party and you're like, no, I just want to lay on the floor. And he's like, enough already. Get up, snap out of it. So, okay, card 5. What may stand in the way? Pity party, self-loathing, self-defeat, and ignoring that person in your life that is encouraging you to snap out of it. Card 6, your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Here we have the 8 of Swords. Oh my goodness. I feel like you may have all of this emotion, but this emotion is cutting you off from the real world. You are all tied up in this bed, like you're like, oh, I can't get out of bed. I can't go out there in the real world because I'm not dressed, because I'm not this, because I'm not that. And all of these emotions are swirling around you. But you're the one that put these own swords around your bed, and this side is open. You can't go that way, but you can like get up out of the bed and go around the other way. These arms are not bound to the bed. They're tied. They're tied above her head, but she can bring her arms down in front of her face and she can pull those knots off. She doesn't have to stay there. Her feet are not bound. She's only like trapped in the bed because all of her emotions are keeping her here. But this water, these sheets, they're not really holding her there. She can get up if she chooses to. Card 7, your career, work, and finances. Judgment. Okay, Judgment. So that is card 7, your career, work, and finances. I feel like this is a card that's saying that you maybe have a calling. You may be tapped to step up to the plate. You may be offered a promotion. You might have to really put yourself out there. This person can't just stay here and get the recognition that they deserve if they don't put themselves out there. Again, harnessing that Leo energy, that Emperor energy. You cannot stay trapped. You've got to stand up and rise to the occasion in order to receive the blessings that this angel wants to bestow on you. Again, Wheel of Fortune in the upright, things are looking up for you, but you've got to actually take action. Everything's not going to be sprinkled on your head like rainbows and fairy dust. You've got to actually take steps to make that happen. Card 8, your health and well-being. Page of Pentacles. I feel like you're really starting to learn how to take better care of your health. You're really starting to take an interest in your well-being. And I see that being represented in this card. Lovingly looking at this pentacle with these flowers around and these little birds. And I feel like taking an active role in your health, taking an active role in your well-being is going to give you a sense of freedom. Like you're really coming out of this place. I'm noticing like how there's a lot of cards. Well, not a lot, there's 2. But I feel like you're so afraid to put yourself out there. All of these cards are you really not wanting to put yourself out there, and here you're clearly outside. And I feel like taking care of your health, taking an active role in your well-being is going to really start to harness this lion energy. This Leo energy. You're dressed nicely. Your posture is great. You're sitting outside and you're totally comfortable. You're not hiding anymore. You don't have any swords surrounding your bed. You're out. There's nobody having to lead you. You are taking an active role. You're taking the initiative. You're learning on your own. You're researching on your own. You're out there doing it. Card 9, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Here we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so here with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like you might need a teacher for that. You might need to look to somebody else to get your spiritual knowledge from. I don't know if that's like you going to a church or a temple or a mosque or whatever it is that you believe in, whatever type of like building that is, or if it's like you going, if your spirituality is something totally different, maybe it's, maybe it's like a yoga teacher, or it's somebody else that is helping to bring and develop this in you. You're taking from his grapevines. He's giving you this pentacle. Like, here it is. Here's the knowledge. Here's what you need to do. Here's the first step. This is how you tap in. This is what we're going to do. Here's some homework for today. What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Here we have the 4 of Cups in the reverse. And I feel like When there are opportunities being presented to you, instead of sitting here in bed and refusing it, I'm not saying that you're in bed, but like locking yourself up in your safe place and be like, nope, I don't want to do that. That is outside of my comfort zone, and we will not be doing that today. This is taking a chance and saying yes. Saying yes to new opportunities, yes to life, yes to outside of your comfort zone. Take a chance. That is what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. It reminds me of that movie with Jim Carrey, Yes Man. Like, obviously you don't say yes to everything, but you know what? Like, it starts when you start saying yes. You don't have to say it forever. You don't have to say it to every situation, but you've got to start saying it, and you will see how your life improves. You will see the difference. Card 11, your most important lesson for the coming year. 5 of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like you're so afraid, like, oh, when I get out of bed, when I put myself out there, there's going to be all of these things. These people are going to attack me. These people are going to judge me. These people are going to say things. They're going to make comments. They're going to sneer. They're going to look. They're going to do this, do that. But it's like, that's not necessarily the case. Maybe a lot of that shit's just in your head. That's your most important lesson for the coming year. Things are not so bad. You can do this. You can handle it. You can hold your own. But you've got to put yourself out there. Overcoming the fear of putting yourself out there. One baby step at a time. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? Here we have 6 of Swords in the reverse. So normally the 6 of Swords is like taking all your baggage, getting on a boat, and going away to a safer place. Going away from this scary place and going to a place of refuge. But this card is saying you don't need to run. You don't need to hide. All you need to do is come out of your emotional boat that you've put yourself in and come back to land. Put your feet on solid ground. So pile 5, I don't know if you'd be interested in this. I'm just going to throw it out there just in case, because I feel like this reading really ties in with what I do in my spiritual coaching. So if you are interested in spiritual coaching, usually this is a 6 to 12 month program. You can always purchase individual sessions with me, but it is a much greater discount if you do a 6-month or a 12-month package with me. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And if you let me know that you are coming from this reading, then I will have a special discount for you for the new year. So please contact me if you are interested in spiritual coaching, confidence coaching. That is something that I love working with people, and I do have a few spots available. So yes, definitely hit me up if that's something that interests you. Pile 5, that concludes your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And please do not push that person away. I'm not saying it has to be me. Maybe you already have somebody in your life that will be that person in the 8 of Cups for you. But I love being that person. So Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. Definitely find your lion's mane and rock the shit out of it. See you soon. Bye.